Bond sales in Slovenia will continue despite a downgrade by credit service Moody's. The company downgraded Slovenia's debt to junk status, stunning investors and forcing the EU member to temporarily halt a bond auction. This latest development comes as rumors swirl that Slovenia may be the next in line for a possible bailout. I sat down with Slovenia's ambassador to the United States and I asked him, does this country need money?
My definite answer would be no. And if I think in terms of a euro crisis, then I could say further on that Slovenia is not a real problem in the euro crisis. Of course, I couldn't say that sometime in the future we will not need money, but there are other ways how to do that. What we are doing now is addressing the root causes that brought us to this crisis that to a great extent is shared with the Eurozone crisis.
The media reports, the debt to GDP ratio, which is a common ratio a lot of commentators use to discuss the amount of debt one country has. You're at 54%, which is significantly less than the other countries who have required a bailout had. Why is the media perhaps being a little bit tougher on Slovenia?
At the moment that Slovenia was compared with Cyprus, that is something that was really not accordingly or properly done
It's frustrating for you and your country.
It is frustrating because Slovenia, it's not a matter of geography, it's also a matter of fiscal, monetary policy, and Slovenia simply is not a Cyprus.
I want to go back to something that you mentioned earlier, Ambassador, and you talked about some of the root causes that led to this discussion to begin with. What are the root causes and what do you think the solutions will be?
Well, there are three causes for the crisis. One is, of course, global economic and financial crisis. The other one is crisis in the Eurozone, and the third one is homegrown crisis. Now, obviously, that we don't have much influence on what's going on in the world. For Euro crisis, as we are a Eurozone member, we do have a role there. But what we can definitely do is to address our homegrown problems. And that is exactly what this government is doing. Already previous government addressed this issue. So we have already done two major reform measures, and we are doing another one.
This past 12 to 24 months has been a very trying time for Europe. Organizations like the World Bank, the IMF, the EU, the ECB, you name all the acronyms, they've all come to provide assistance to Europe. From Slovenia's point of view, do you think the European Union and its leaders have handled this crisis well?
Definitely, there is more that could be done, but we have to take into account the political circumstances. What has happened in Europe is that economic realities were moving faster than political ones. Establishment of European Union and establishment of Eurozone was a political project, but it is only a halfway realized. So what we have to do now is to deliver all the way. We have created monetary union, but not a fiscal union. So we are halfway.
The past couple of weeks, we've seen economic data from manufacturing to retail sales that might indicate, and I highlight the word might indicate, that Europe may have a very tough second half of the year and a possible recession. Is this something that you are concerned about?
I have confidence in European capacity to address these current problems. European economy is strong, but you must understand that we are building a structure that has not been completed yet. Europe has to move faster politically. So to create banking union is the first now objective that we have to achieve. But you must remember, European Union consists of 27 members. So all 27 parliaments has to endorse any considerable change. But when we talk about banking union, there is no need to change the basic structure of European Union. To establish fiscal union, we would need to change the EU treaties, but not for banking union. So this is the first important step. The ingredients of that are installed, So we need to be patient a little bit more, and I'm confident that this will happen. And this will also help tremendously for Europe at large to overcome the current crisis.
I want to thank the ambassador for his openness in a very controversial topic.